My name is Clayton C. Stansbury, Jr. I'm a graduate of the class of 1951, Heavenly Grace Colored High School. I started colored school in 1938 in the first grade, and I graduated in 1951 from the high school. And we were one block away from the school. The school was just down the street from where we lived. My father worked on the railroad. We could never understand why my mother and my father never made it to high school and how they knew so much. And my father could spell anything. And my father knew mathematics. Or he could work some, in his head, he could work some mathematics. If you divide this by this and this, that, what's the answer? And my father knew history. And my mother was the same way. Every day, my father, well, number one, he would say, "What did you learn today in school?" He would ask you that. And you had to tell him something, because every day you go, you got to learn something. And one time, my younger brother and I were playing around, doing nothing. My father said, "Have you finished your homework?" I said, "We didn't have any homework today." He went to that little section where we kept our books. He brought all my books, said, "You know everything in these books?" I said, "No, Daddy, how will I know that?" He said, "Well, you got homework." My father was a great historian. He had studied Marcus Garvey and a number of outstanding African Americans. And he believed that African Americans or colored people were not treated as they should have been treated. And that was his gist for doing what he did at the colored school.
No progressive community can remain part literate and part illiterate. Ignorance is a menace to any people and should not be tolerated. Some have said it would cost the community too much money to educate all our children. I reply to that statement. We wish to say that education will never cost this community or any other community what ignorance will if the latter is permitted to prevail. Let's all join hands in helping to make this county one of the best counties, not only in the state of Maryland, but in the entire United States, by giving our children the best education obtainable.
He wasn't by himself. He had a core of individuals that he worked with, and they worked together to get this done. They looked at what was going on at the school, the so-called white school. Well, why can a white school have this, and this is how we're treated? He went to the mayor, he would write the governor, he would write senators, he would write individuals in the House. He would go to all that he could at different times, because he believed that all individuals were created equal, and they should be equal in everything that's going on in America. We had knew anything. The white school students knew that we were not going to get new facilities. So they had scribbled some nasty things on the desk, written little nasty things in the books, and we had to live with that. But we knew one day everything was going to be all right. And we concentrated on what was printed in the books. We didn't have a track to run on. And our principal would go down before we got there to measure off around the trees how far he thought was a quarter mile, a half mile, and that's what we would do. And he did the same thing in the streets. You go around this corner, watch that man's car and all that stuff, and that's a quarter mile. That's what we did. Isaac Cole was on my team. Isaac Cole he ran the third leg, and I ran the final leg. Oh, we whipped him. We whipped him. We were good. Well, one of my favorite teachers was Russell Stansbury. He was my brother. We lived in the same house. I liked Mrs. Williams. Mrs. Williams taught us history. Mrs. Williams was strict, very strict, but all of the teachers were interested in us. I thought the teachers went through what we went through. Before we went through it, they had already gone through it. Mr. Roy was a terrific guy. He encouraged us to go to college. And he would try to get monies for us. So he would give us all those scholarships. I don't know where he got the money from. And he would send as many of us off to college as he could. I remember in my class I went, Janice Moorhead went, and Bug went, and 4 or 5 others went to college. And we graduated to go to college. Langston Hughes came to the Hat Degrees Color School because Langston Hughes went to Lincoln University in Pennsylvania with our principal, Mr. Roy. I got him to autograph my Social Security card. And the thing about Langston Hughes was a terrific, real nice man, and he was just wonderful to us. And he spent a whole week, and we could talk to him about anything, where he learned to write, how he learned to write. He explained it to us. And that is something I will never, ever, ever forget. Oh, Dennis Noble. Dennis Noble was the superintendent of schools. And he spoke to us all the time. He came by to visit us. He knew us by name. Heights by great men, reached and kept, were not obtained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upward in the night. You got to be working night and day if you want to get something. Don't talk about I'm tired and I can't do this, and you have to do it now. He told us that every speech. Mr. Noble ended with that. Isaac Cole, Bug, was my best buddy. We went to Morgan State. We were roommates for 4 years. We graduated after 4 years, and he was in my wedding when I got married. We were good buddies, and we are as close today as we were in high school. I wrote a book about my father, Portrait of a Colored Man, Clayton C. Stansbury. This is what I said about my diploma. Each day, I look at my high school diploma. The name of the school on that diploma reads, Havre de Grace Colored High School, the general course. I have a copy of that diploma hanging in my office at Morgan State University. It is a great conversation mechanism and a constant reminder of where I came from and of those courageous black men and women who fought for better schools, better education, and better living conditions for the children of color in Harford County, Maryland. That's from me, Clayton C. Stansbury, Jr.